All right, this one's also kind of interesting. So this is from Dan Orlovsky from NFL's First Take, and it is about just the whole situation with Baker going to the Panthers and what he thinks the Panthers can be.
This is why I think this is a playoff team with Baker Mayfield, the guy we saw 2 years ago, because that's the last time he was healthy. He was third in the NFL in QBR, led them to the playoffs. Number one, this is a top 10 defense in the NFL for the Carolina Panthers. Has one of the better young defensive lines in the league with Brian Burns and Derek Brown. They also get J.C. Horn back, who was their superstar corner, first-round draft pick from the South Carolina. They'll get him back healthy. So this is going to be a very good defense. Number two, you talked about the improvement of the offensive line, but you talk about drafting a tackle top 6 overall isn't a big deal if he's a really good player. It's 20% of the offensive line. If Ike Ekwonu is what many offensive line people say he is going to be, that's a huge jump in their performance. Brady Christensen, they took in the second round last year at offensive line. He's in year 2. They signed Austin Corbett in free agency. This has a chance to be a much improved offensive line. Ben McAdoo comes over as their play caller. Whatever you want to say with him as a Giants fan, the commitment to say, we're going to run the football is a commitment. It's a big deal. It matters when it comes to your identity. So I like the fact of that. You mentioned Christian McCaffrey. That's a big question mark. But the flip side is if he is healthy, he's one of the best playmakers in all of football. This is the best wide receiver group, and you can't debate that Baker Mayfield has ever played with. About Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and Rashard Higgins. That's the best wide receiver group he's ever had. Maybe not the total skill group, best wide receiver group.
Casey, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr. weren't necessarily. I'll listen to the argument that DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson are better, but I don't know that a lot of people are going to agree with you. And you had Kareem Hunt and you had Nick Chubb. The surrounding cast, it's not an upgrade for Baker Mayfield. It's just not. It's a downgrade.
I just hope Dan Orlovsky didn't pull a hamstring reaching for that tape. That's wild to me. It seems it's crazy how the national media has just flipped overnight on the upper bound limits of Baker Mayfield now that he's on the Carolina Panthers. But I think, like, if you look at the reality of the situation, Ben McAdoo runs a pro-style system. So you're going to see, Baker's going to see something similar to what he did in 2019 under Freddie Kitchens. That really doesn't suit his skill set all that much. Now, there are some really comparable weapons. DJ Moore is an up-and-coming receiver. Christian McCaffrey, when healthy, is a premier back in this league. It's been a while since we've seen that, but it's, if he's healthy, it's there. So I get it. I still don't see this team competing for a playoff spot. I still think they finished dead last in their division. Now, where they may have been a 4-win team under Darnold, maybe they are a 6 or 7-win team under Mayfield. I don't think that's enough to save Matt Rule's job, but it does give Baker a platform so he can show other teams what he could possibly do in 2023 and going beyond. But yeah, I don't see them as a playoff team with Baker Mayfield.
No, and again, I think he's an upgrade over what they had. And I think he can be a competent to slightly above average NFL quarterback without question.